Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is not our usual episode review. Sadly, Curse of the Black Spot will have to wait another week.
I know you were chomping at the bit to find out what we thought.
Oh, I know. And then we are back.
Fair, if we had to delay the Doctor's Wife, I would have been furious. So
yes, we've done okay.
It had to happen
for now. Yes, this isn't an episode review because BBC have finally decided to bless us with the trailer for Power of the Doctor. I say trailer, I think I mean they've advertised it as a trailer, but I guess it's just an extended teaser trailer more than anything else.
Their trailers do tend to be about a minute, don't they?
Yeah, because
obviously for broadcast reasons and stuff, they can't have it be too long.
Yeah. I mean, it's fair. I understand why it's as
compared to the teaser yesterday. It certainly is a trailer.
Oh yeah, but that was that was one of those teasers for a trailer which are always like 10 seconds long. But yes, this was a minute long, about 72-second long trailer for the Power of the Doctor, which we now have the official release date, as we all suspected it would be, October 23rd.
Yes.
No time, but assume probably, I don't know whether it'll be before or after Strictly, because I think that's on the same day.
I read 8 p.m. somewhere, but I wish I could remember where that was.
Normally they're before Strictly. Normally it's before Strictly, but maybe they've changed it around, maybe because it's 90 minutes they've gone after, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
8 p.m. is quite late if it is 8 p.m. I'm surprised about that. Normally it's around 6 p.m.
It's because the Doctor and Yasmin swear for the last half an hour, so they have to.
Yeah, can you imagine the last half an hour?
13th last word is just fuck.
Yeah. Oh shit! Not again.
She opens the watch and goes fuck.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I love that happened. The first ever F-bomb in Doctor Who would be excellent. But I don't know.
Tegan, her one line is just.
Yeah. So we won't go play by play through this trailer, because I think there was a lot of it I think is very sort of vague, and a lot of it is like the same thing but seen from a different angle and different.
Yeah, and some of it does seem to connect. There seems to be a shot of like the Doctor and Yaz running into the TARDIS as they're being shot at, and then I think we see them running from those things a bit later on. So I think it will just tie up.
And there's also some bits around that space train as well that link in together and all that stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if everything we see in this trailer is from the first 20 odd minutes of. Yeah,
it's got to be something
roughly.
Like
there's a couple of bits where I think some of them are maybe later on. But yeah, this is definitely a trailer which gives very little away, but it does throw up loads of new questions.
So we know about the plot, but we don't know about the plot.
The plot, yes, we know how the plot starts, I think, but we don't know about.
We don't know what finishes her off and why it's going to lead to everything.
Exactly. Whereas previous regeneration stories, you can kind of get an idea of what the situation is going to be. They've sort of hinted at how they're going to regenerate. Naturally, with Chris Ferguson, he's fighting the Daleks. Daleks are probably going to have a part to play in his regeneration, which to some extent they do. But it twists it a bit. David Tennant is heavily spoken about for a long time. There's a nice twist there, but he's still kind of aware of how he generates. Matt Smith, again, it's just really old age, isn't it? I think that kills him in the end.
Yeah, he spends like 400 years on that planet, doesn't he?
Yeah, so that's, again, you can kind of get an idea of how he might. And then, obviously, Peter Capaldi, in his regeneration story, you already know why he's regenerating. So
he's regenerating at the start of his final episode.
Yeah,
so we
exactly.
Know,
So this is one where I think we're going in pretty much unknown. But on this 60-second trailer, what are your immediate impressions? What did you think when you saw it?
I'm very excited for it. I wasn't expecting them to go into too much detail, obviously, about what it's going to be, especially when it's a 90-minute thing anyway. How much of it can you really properly show adequately in a minute-long thing? And they're not going to want to spoil exactly how Jodie bows out and what's going on with that and the ultimate fates of everyone, even though this made me very, very worried for Dan. Because I'm like, we haven't seen you outside of that spacesuit yet, pal. Apart from maybe some on-set stuff with someone. But
officially
even then, that might be before the train bit. Who can say?
Could be a flashback. Who knows?
Yeah, but this has kind of made me think, I think Dan might be a goner here. Sadly, which I don't want to be the case, but it would be a hell of a way to maybe kick off the special if he dies 5 minutes in. So I guess we'll see. They're setting him up like, he'll reunite with Diane and they'll work it out, and then boom, he's dead 5 minutes into the next episode. They could easily do that, because he doesn't really seem to be and the bulk of the action going on with like the unit stuff and Kate and Ace and Tegan.
Mhm.
So maybe I don't know. I don't want it to be true, but I think it is. My heart says no, but my head says yes. So I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, I think there's some really cool looking things going on. I think the scale of it, I think they definitely got across well. This does very much feel like, oh yeah, this is going to be like a 90-minute kind of epic movie kind of deal. This is longer than the 50th anniversary special was. So the fact that they have plenty of time to go there with some big epic confrontations by the looks of it, and lots of different sequences, like the synopsis kind of saying, we have this going on with paintings, and we have this going on with the train, and we have this going on with the Daleks, and all that kind of jazz. And we have returning companions, and we have the Master, who's Rasputin, and we've got like confirmation of that in the synopsis. So speculation was correct about that. Probably nothing else that the fandom have guessed is going to turn out to be true, but that's the fun of it. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I am looking forward to seeing how things may or may not tie in, because I think they've already maybe added different versions of some scenes in this one compared to the initial trailer we got. The Master's line being like, this is the day you get removed from existence and stuff, and this is the day you die in the original trailer. So I think that might be the same line, it's just a different version of it now, and they swapped it out for something. Or he just says a very similar line twice in the same scene in the very same shot. But I guess we'll see. Either way, I am very, very excited for it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, it looked great. It threw up a lot of questions compared to what I thought we might be seeing. It seemed in this one that the Daleks are going to feature a lot more than I originally thought that they might do. It seems that there's a bigger risk to Earth than I thought there might be. With whatever the hell that Death Star moon thing is.
Yeah, I actually put Red Death Star in my notes.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's the Death Star.
It's a strange one. We'll come on to that, but I've got like a few points that I wish to raise and put to you to see what we think. The first one you alluded to. Where is Dan? Is he safe?
He's way up there, and I don't mean in space.
Maybe they leave him on the train where he's safe, and they pick him up.
I'm hoping maybe they just like leave him to investigate the train thing, and then they get us summoned to something else. Or maybe, I don't know, is Dan going to be paired off with Vinda for the episode or something? Because we know he had a brief appearance in the trailer, but he was also on the planet that the Doctor and Yaz are on, so maybe not. Who can say? I am concerned. I think we might be losing Dan. I think we might be losing him pretty damn early in the special as well, because we haven't really seen any official looks of him. I've not been outside of him in the orange spacesuit, and it was a very happy scene of them being like, "Oh, yay! What a great jump, Dan! We're gonna live forever."
He gets killed straight away. No,
and he's immediately shot by a Cyberman, probably. So yeah, I'm concerned. I don't think he's actually going to have a particularly big role in this one. Either he has brief sporadic appearances and it wraps up nicely for him, please, or he dies quite early on. I think is where we're going to be heading. But there's a lot of returning characters, some that probably haven't even been announced yet, that are also going to be showing up. So there's just not room, sadly. But it was nice to have him. He's been a blessing. But rest in peace, Dan, in advance.
Oh God, yeah.
If you ask me,
I think that's fair.
I would love. I honestly, I would love nothing more than to be proved wrong, because I'd love him to live. But I think he might be a goner.
Yeah, I think the fact that he's just not appeared in anywhere outside of that train. That
huge Meryl Streep in the Mamma Mia 2 trailer vibes. Like, where is she?
Big Bryan Cranston in Godzilla. Oh my God, Bryan Cranston's in this? Dead. He's dead. He dies.
Dead.
Sorry.
Or just Godzilla, but that film's like 11 years old.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good film. Don't go in there expecting.
I've never seen it, and I still know Bryan Cranston dies.
Well,
so.
Yeah, I mean, all Bryan Cranston, both of them.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah. Well, there you go then. Who would have guessed? Not
me.
My second point. The Daleks. What are they doing? Why is a Dalek warning the Doctor that they're going to invade? Is that a rogue Dalek? What's that situation going on?
Is it Rusty again?
How does that? Yeah, I mean, that would be a big callback, I guess, to a character that sort of appeared in the last Regeneration story, but I feel that wouldn't necessarily chime. I mean,
No,
I know
I don't
the
think it
Doctor
is.
sort of had a
But, you know.
no. The Doctor kind of had like a somewhat of a left in good terms with the Daleks in the last episode, didn't she? When she like called them in. I don't know. It's a strange one because it doesn't make sense.
They trap her in a time loop and try to kill her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. Long before that. I mean, maybe that if we'll come on to it, but you know, theories about what the Master's doing if he's working with the Daleks. Maybe they're trying to contact him, and it gets to her. Maybe, but
maybe they go to the wrong TARDIS because they maybe look similar in this story.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But yeah, I don't know what role the Daleks are doing. Are we going to see another Army of Ghosts Doomsday Cyberman Dalek battle? Are we going to see the Daleks get absolutely destroyed for a second time within a year? As they did get absolutely blown to pieces in the end of Flux. So
yeah,
it's a strange one. How do you see them in this? We haven't really seen much. I think there's only maybe two shots of them in this trailer.
Yeah, because there's like a big line above them, wasn't there? And then there was one telling the Doctor about the invasion that's happening. So I don't know. Because they definitely, I think, leaned more into showing off the Cybermen in anything we've seen prior to this. We know the Cybermasters are in it as well. I don't think they were in this trailer at all. So how on earth are they kind of still tying to things with the Masters plot and everything?
I don't think they're in the promo picture with Jodie in the like chamber thing when she's regenerated. They're behind her there, but they're not in the trailer.
Yes. So I don't know. I thought like maybe it's going to be more of a Cyberman kind of presence. Maybe it still will be because we know that Shard's in it and they're fighting Tegan and Ace in unit. But I think we also saw that building blow up and Ace parachute out of it. So maybe we also deal with them in that manner. I don't know. Does Tegan sacrifice herself because we didn't see her parachute out? Maybe. Could happen. So yeah, I don't know where the Daleks are going to fit into it. When it's a 90-minute thing, there is room for them in there. If it's just Dalek, Cybermen, Master, and that's it. I don't think there's going to be another twist villain added in. But who
you mean the Grand Serpent's not coming back?
God, I fucking hope not. The Master is the Grand Serpent all along.
Could you imagine?
Or the Doctor regenerates into the Grand Serpent. Plot twist.
Oh, what a twist! What a twist!
Yeah.
Do it, Chibnall. Change it now. You've got 2 weeks.
Yeah, you haven't changed the law or the Doctor Who in your time. Let's shift this up a bit. But yeah, I mean, I'm always happy to see the Daleks, so I'm sure I'll enjoy their presence. But yeah, I am intrigued to see why one of them would go out of the way to warn the Doctor about this. There's actually a line in the synopsis about the Dalek warning her as well. So I guess it's kind of a big deal, a big setup for something. How all these different things tie together, I don't know. It feels like they're trying to tie lots of stories together like Flux did in a 90-minute episode. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be quite as much for them to have to tie. I certainly hope not. I don't know if they could do that in an hour and a half, but we'll see. I still feel like they might be a bit separate to an extent. I still feel like it's probably going to be more Cybermen and Master than the Daleks. But I guess they just feel compelled to have the Daleks show up in final stories.
They have to every year. Every year they have to show up every time.
Apparently,
I suppose they've already shown up this year, haven't they?
They have shown up, yeah.
So.
And they weren't around in 2016, so I don't know if there's any truth to that rumor or not.
No.
So who can say? But I guess if you're going to go out, you want to write the Daleks one last time and put them in. I'm sure they have a decent part to play in it. I don't know what it is, but I look forward to finding out.
Yeah, that's fair. We see quite a lot of planets in this trailer. There's the Mushroom Kingdom. There's there's the Moon Death Star. I don't know whether it's actually the moon that's been converted or whether it's a separate planet. If it's linked to the Cybermen, could it be a Mondas clone? Could it be a Skaro clone?
I did think the building on it looked very kind of Cyberman-y.
Yeah, but then it could just be the Cybermen have landed on the moon and they've been building.
It could also be that
moon base and all that kind of thing. And
Cybermen
then
building a moon base.
Never.
There's never been a story called the Moon Base with the Cybermen.
And then the one that sort of stands out to me is that shot from the Mushroom Kingdom where the two planets are firing missiles at each other. What the
Yeah.
heck's going on there?
I think they're making out. That's how planets make out.
Yeah,
It's a big love story, this one.
Yeah, could you imagine? But like one of the planets looks not Earth-like, but it's like oceans and land and green and blue, and then the other one looks, you know, you could argue Skaro Gallifrey-esque with its sort of orangey grey.
Yes.
What's the deal?
What is the deal?
Is that going to be like a, you know, is that going to be like a bit in Flux where just we see planets get destroyed? Is it just going to be another thing that the Doctor witnesses and goes, you know, or is it going to play a role in maybe there's a Cyberman civil war going on, maybe there's a Dalek civil war going on, and that's going to to Earth or something like that?
Is there
very strange.
A Dalek planet and a Cyber planet, and they're just going at it, and apparently they don't know it. I don't know. It feels like this is what the Battle of Ransgrav Kolos wanted the budget to be able to pull off, with like using planets to do shit and make it feel climactic kind of deal. So I guess that's nice that they seem to be getting the chance to do that. I do think it looks really cool and interesting to see how it all ties in together. But, you know, is this, you know, a Dalek thing? Is it a Cyberman thing? Is it part of the Master's plot somehow to be like, I'm going to wipe the Doctor from existence? Like, does he need to burn some planets to do that? Daleks have a notion for doing shit with planets a lot. So maybe it is going to be tied into them, part of their invasion. It looked like one of the planets might have been Earth, but the other one was a bit bigger. So
yeah, I paused it, and like the land masses on that planet didn't look like land masses, but it's clearly used to show like a nice idyllic world, you know, blue and green and stuff. And the other one very much looked dead, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So who can say? Maybe it's two of the places the train was going to head for, and they're stealing the locations the train was headed for. I don't know.
Maybe.
But we're not supposed to know. So all we can do is speculate. But it's going to look good, whether or not it makes sense or not. Either way, I think it'll be like, oh, that looks nice and pretty. So there you go. That will appeal to me.
Well, you know, we've had that. You could, you know, my off the wall theory is the Masters flying Gallifrey around and just going around and destroying planets. Why not? We've had Gallifrey appear over Earth before. There's, you know, we've had planets move, so there's no reason why the Master can't be like, I know, I'm using all this might of this cyber technology to make this planet move, and then he just goes around and attacks other planets. Who knows? That might be a bit extreme. I don't know what his benefit would be to that. Maybe he's just building a cyber army. Who knows? But probably unlikely to happen, because that's a very unfounded theory from me, except just seeing the planets. Death Star moon or Death Star planet, the big angry red ball, is that the same thing that they're on with the blue grey buildings? Is it all the same one? Two things? Is it a moon base and a red angry one? Because we see a red and a blue one at different times, and vintage ships flying to some of them. And
but like the red beam it was firing looked like the same beam that giant squid weird thing was shooting. It looked like the same laser. So I don't know if that thing's like at the heart of the planet and is the laser, or we're having a Star Whale kind of situation where they're using a creature to a weapon or transport or whatever. Is that how the planets are moving? We have a giant Starro from Suicide Squad in there going on, that whole situation. I don't know. So yeah, lots to juggle, lots of confusion. I don't know. But again, you know, Death Star planet is a classic. So good, Star Wars use it twice. So
well, 3 times if you think about it. 2 Death Stars and Starkiller base. So.
Yeah, that's true. So
4 if you include the spaceships that they attach Death Star lasers to. So
also true.
You know.
Well, you know, clearly it's something that they like doing, and it looks nice.
They've got easy access to the assets.
Yes, every story has already been told. That will be told.
That's true.
So why not go all out and kill some more planets? Because the Flux didn't do enough damage to the universe. So yeah, it will be fun to see like who is behind all of that and what it exactly means, what the end goal of it could be. I don't know if they're going for like what the Master's plan is a lot more like a personal kind of battle for the Doctor and stuff like that, but they also wanted a more kind of epic, grandiose, just generic kind of invasion-y thing. So some other characters can deal with that, and so they have something to do as well. Who can say?
Yeah, you mentioned it as well. The weird squid fairy alien thing that seems
Yes,
to be on that moon.
that's its official name.
What was that?
Yeah, it
Just
my
throw another
first
alien in the
yeah
moon.
my first thought was like, oh, that looks a lot like the thing from the train in The Woman Who Fell to Earth. It's like, oh my god, Tim Shaw's return confirmed. He's
I
doing
see.
bad.
I did think that as well. I knew I'd seen it before.
But it also
I
didn't
might.
shoot a
I mean, it
big
might
red
be.
laser in that story, so who knows?
No, but it could be because didn't Tim Shaw isn't he's still alive, isn't he?
He's still alive. Yeah, they locked him up in a pod.
So it could be. He could also be making a return.
Oh, how lucky we'd be.
You never know. He might. That might be the small thing. Maybe the Master's getting old villains back to distract the Doctor and her companions while he goes off and faffs around.
Yeah.
Especially if they've got axes to grind with her. Maybe that racist from Rosa will return.
Oh yeah,
Because he only got sent back in time, didn't he?
yeah.
Something
But
like
he's
that.
probably sent back in time and immediately eaten by a dinosaur.
Oh
or whatever it was.
yeah. But you never know. He could be like
Space
Master
racists
save
could
him.
make a return.
Yeah. I think
I
unlikely.
don't think Jack Robertson's back. That's for goddamn sure.
No, for external reasons more than in
That would be a PR disaster.
Yeah, literally. Unless he comes back and gets killed immediately.
That's also true, but they would have had to pay him.
Like,
to do
I think that might be the only way they could save him. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's true. Just use an old asset. Just put an old picture of him and say
it's
presidential
just a JPEG
candidate
of
Jack
him.
Robinson dead. yeah.
He dies on the way back to his home planet.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, it seems like there's a potential other alien mix. It also could be something being used by Cybermen, Daleks, whatever. Who knows? Didn't see too much of Tegan and Ace in this, I wouldn't say.
I was surprised at the lack of Tegan in particular. We did get a few cool shots.
One shot, and then the other one that we've seen before with them shooting the machine guns at the Cybermen.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to leave that building, does she, old Tegan?
Yes. So, interesting what will happen there. Maybe, maybe. I mean, they could both die, but we do see Ace base jump in London. So
yeah, and she's wearing her jacket in that bit, and we know she wears that when she beats up a Dalek. It feels like that's going to be in a different location.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think maybe the first time we see her is going to be her checking out that painting. That feels like a very good introductory kind of deal to her. That shot of her from behind, like, oh yeah, that could be the Ace reveal shot, and maybe that'd be fun. But yeah, it certainly feels like maybe Tegan could be on her way out. I mean,
bold move to bring back a classic companion to kill them.
Yeah, but again, Janet Fielding hasn't acted in 38 years since she left the show. Maybe she was like, I'll come back, just kill me. Maybe I'll
just kill me off so I never have to do this again.
The Harrison Ford of the Doctor Who universe. Like, I'll come back, just kill me, please, dear God, kill me. I'm begging this time, kill me. She left and came back to Doctor Who twice, so
I'll come back as a Force ghost in 10 years' time, but just kill me now.
Yeah. So I could see that being what they do. I would be surprised if they do kind of actually kill off a classic companion like that. Especially when it is, I'm back and now I'm dead in the same episode. That might be a bit Big Finish would be like, damn it. So
we've still got plenty of time to do between.
That's true, actually. Yeah, I'm sure they have.
So
I'm sure they have in great detail. So yeah, that would be maybe my wild prediction. Would be that maybe we're going to lose Tegan as well. Maybe she sacrifices herself to destroy a shard in the Cybermen.
It is a similar point to Dan, as we don't see her outside that one location. We don't see Dan outside the train location.
Yeah.
If we apply the same logic, then we should come to the same outcome.
Yeah, it could be the case of they didn't want her return to be leaked until the trailer, so she had to just stay indoors all the time. So they just stuck her in there. Who can say? But
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that I am a bit more on maybe like, oh, they might kill her after all than I would have said before this. So, interesting.
Yeah, and then Kate, Stewart, and Unit. I think Unit's, it's Unit. They'll find a way back no matter what. This won't be their last appearance, I'm sure of it. Kate lasted 3 Doctors now. Quite a few appearances, probably more than most expected, especially after Moffat left. I think everyone sort of thought that she wouldn't be back in the show.
I think one of the biggest surprises in Flux was her in the trailer, the next time trailer.
It was.
Like, oh my god, okay.
Oh my god.
You.
Again, not too much of her in this trailer. sort of similar to Tegan. We don't see her outside the building. Could it be that this is her final episode? She's finally going to get got after she's dodged death so many times.
so many times, like father, like daughter.
Oh yeah.
I mean again, it's feasible. Maybe, you never know. Is Osgood going to show up as well? Is she still in unit?
Yeah,
you can say.
Yeah, she's still. Maybe a Zygon.
Maybe not. I mean, there's certainly at least one Zygon amongst the two that are around. That's true. So yeah,
but then one died. Didn't Missy kill one of them?
Missy killed one of them, but then remember the one who took Clara's place then also became an Osgood.
Oh, for God's sake! I haven't seen that
replaced
so long. Oh God.
Well, if you pay attention.
Well, guess I better rewatch that. Yeah.
I mean, we'll get there eventually.
That's true.
But yeah, I don't know. I know nothing about anything. In summary,
no. Well, I mean, to be fair, we don't know anything about this. This is all pure speculation.
Yeah, I guess it's really up to RTD, isn't it?
Well, that's true.
Even if the killer in this one, he'd be like, "Oh well, I survived," and then
we went back in time to before that happened, and she lives.
Yeah, people were speculating. It seems like the gun she has in the promo still is the same one that Yaz points the master at with.
Oh, right.
So maybe she gives that to Yaz, being like, just in case. So
and then dies.
Maybe it's like, and then dies like with her dying breath. She gives Yaz that gun or something. I don't know. Yeah. And then that's the gun that probably kills 13. So it's probably going to be that whole deal.
Yeah.
I was going to say, they wouldn't shoot a doctor, though, would they? Then I remember that 7 was shot to bits and horribly died on the hospital table.
Oh, so, yes. Don't operate.
Oh yes, he was immediate. He opened the doors and was immediately shot dead. I forgot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, classic TV movie.
Yeah.
So we'll come on to the Master and his sort of different roles in this. There is a shot in this trailer of a landscape with 2 TARDISes in it. There's a shot with a TARDIS with Joker laughing on it.
Yeah, joke's on you, Doctor. And also on that shot. Where's my notes? Hang on. The handle's been pulled off. The keyhole thing's also been pulled off. And there looks like right on the very right-hand side, there's like an E carved into it. So it looks like there's going to be some wording that's been carved into the side, but they didn't show it all off.
Maybe it just says enter.
Maybe. He just copied the sign out again on the other side. Symmetry at last. That's his grand plot.
That's all he wanted.
But again, this could also be the Master's TARDIS that we're seeing.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. Is could the Master have a duplicate TARDIS? Is that where Yaz confronts the Master because he's in the TARDIS console room?
Trick her into running into there or something.
The wrong one, yeah. And then the Doctor turns up to a different one, and when she's in the different one, that's when the Dalek says, "Daleks are coming," and then whatever. Also, we have the Master with a nice beard, and we have the Master without the nice beard. He seems to be all over the shop. What's going on? What obviously his plan is kill the Doctor, I guess, or get revenge for Timeless Child and stuff. Because that's his line. He says the Doctor's going to be erased from existence, reality, something like that.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
He's definitely he's either time traveling all over the place, or he's had a long-term plan during the bit in Spyfall where he had to just wait on Earth for years, and he's been doing this during that time. Who can say? He had a plan B even then. But yeah, he is Rasputin, so that's fun. So we know he's definitely in 1916 Russia from the synopsis as Rasputin. So what's he doing there? Don't know. And then he's also got the Sidemasters, and he might be teaming up with Cybermen and or Daleks at some point. Who can say? And yeah, has a nice shave about halfway through, I suppose.
Yes.
Just to differentiate, just in case you couldn't tell. It's a different time. We thought we'd get rid of the massive fuck off beard. But yeah, I am intrigued. I don't know anything again.
Yep.
My insightful commentary is that I don't know what his plan is. I still don't know what his plan was in Spyfall, to be honest. I still never really kind of got to grips with it. I haven't rewatched it to really understand it, but I just accepted that it was fine. I mean, Timeless Child, it made a lot more sense in there because he was just trying to reveal all that, and
he was just angry at that.
Yeah, it's like the Time Lord bodies are now Cybermen. Deal with it, bitch. And deal with it. She might one last time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, either way, I'm excited to see more of Sacha Dhawan's Master, potentially for the final time. You never know. They did give him all this shit, but they have also been auctioning off literally everything because of the new production company and everything. So
Yeah.
all the old costumes and Cyberman costumes and Daleks are being auctioned off. So new Simon and Dalek designs incoming.
Yay!
But yeah, I am very, very excited to see more of him, even if it is one last time. Hopefully he does get plenty to do. I hope he is like the main villain of the Centenary compared to like Ashard and the Cybermen and the Daleks and stuff. It feels like they're certainly marketing him to be that way, and he got a whole ass interview in Doctor Who magazine last month, so it would also make sense for him to be. And then maybe give the Master a rest for a few years, I would say. But again, that's not up to me again, so who can say? But yeah, I don't know what his plan is. I don't know what he's up to, but classic Master shenanigans, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fair. If the Doctor being erased is to be taken literally, do we think that's the opening for a reset similar to, whether that be the Pandorica sort of being, the cracks wiping things away from 1 to 4? Do we think that Doctor being erased potentially, cleans the slate for the
erases her
next
back
period?
to 10?
Well, maybe something like that. Maybe erases her back to a start of regeneration cycle where she just ends up as that. I don't know. Do you think there's a potential for that, or do you reckon that it's just a figure of speech and he's not going to do it?
Yeah, I can't imagine him succeeding as much as he would like. And I do think erasing any incarnation of the Doctor would probably not go down particularly well. I can't see Chibnall introducing a female Doctor and being like, and I'm going to erase her from existence at the end of our run. So
2 female Doctors.
That's true,
them
yeah.
both.
And the first black one, yeah. So that would be interesting. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. I'm sure the Master won't really go that far with it as much as he would like to. But I could also see it feasibly being maybe a good segue into, whatever's going on in the 60th specials. But again, we don't even know what's going on with them fully. So it might not need a segue into them for all we know. No. It might just be fine. And we get an open-ended regeneration, or she does turn into Tennant, or she does turn into Gatwa. We will wait and see. We'll find out in literally 2 weeks in a day.
So on that, the last sort of thing we'll talk about, how's the Doctor regenerating? Is Yaz dead and Yaz killed her? Is Grief,
so
Fobwatch, Master doing it? Because she seems to be regenerating in that containment chamber thing where the cyber masters are around and that thing. Is that a regeneration fake out? Or...
Yeah. One of the theories regarding that is she gets drained of her regeneration energy from being the timeless child there, so limits her regeneration cycles again, and that restores the cyber masters into Time Lords again, just to bring them back into the fold as a fresh start. I don't know. So I don't know. I think maybe she'll drown. Maybe the rumors really are true. So many of them have been true.
We've seen no water in this trailer, but maybe she will drown.
I still probably think maybe opening the watch is going to be what does it. That was my theory going into this. I'd probably stick to that, but I also wouldn't mind. It would be fucking horrendous if she'd end up getting accidentally shot by Yaz or something with that gun. I would like that gun to maybe keep swapping owners throughout the whole story, and then it ends up killing her. I think that'd be an interesting thing to do with it. But again, I don't know if that's where they would go with it. But if it airs as late as it does, maybe.
Yep, that's true. Do you reckon Yaz is going to live past this?
I think so. I don't think they'd be like, well, she's finally come out and she's comfortable with himself. Let's kill her 2 episodes later. That might
kill the gays.
Bit of a mistake. Yes, that famous trope. Yes, that's a good thing to do. I think it would depend if Dan dies 10 minutes in or not. If he dies, I don't think Yaz will for sure. But I would, if I had to bet on it, I'd say that she probably survives.
Okay, I think so too. But I also wonder how they will make her not continue.
How they force her away from
I think that will be the key bit, because at the moment I can't see her leaving willingly.
Yeah, this might be such a traumatic story for her that she's like, I can't deal with this anymore.
That could be it. That could be what happens, but there's a strange space in there where she would have to leave before the Doctor regenerates, and I don't think she'd leave the Doctor in that state. So I mean, maybe we have a post-credit scene where, or the post-regeneration scene where somebody else comes on and she's like, fuck off, and she just leaves. But I think that'll be out of character.
That scene where she's like, oh, I don't want this to end. That I could easily see that being like their last conversation, and maybe even then, maybe she's holding off from regenerating. Then and it's like she just wants one last chat with her before she goes and changes or whatever.
Maybe she's just saying, look, it's best if you leave because I'm going to be a completely different person, and I won't feel the same way or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's going to be a sad conclusion, even if she lives or dies. I think it's going to be a pretty bittersweet thing for her.
Well, I mean, none of the companions, Jodie's companions, have died yet. So
sorry, Dan.
That's still to come. It could be Dan Graham. If those pictures were to be believed, there might be a tiny Graham sitting around the master somewhere.
Yeah.
Yaz still, I think, has been miniaturized at some point, according to some of the pictures. So that's all still in play. Maybe we just get the two companions as little models on the TARDIS next season. They just sit there constantly, so that they can be looked at,
immortalized forever. Yeah.
Hello. Sorry, the internet went out. Obviously, because why wouldn't it? Nobody else is using the internet at 6 p.m. on a Saturday except for us fucking nerds.
Wild Saturday night for us.
Yep, really is. But yes, we will leave it there. And I'm sure we'll be back before the 60th. Actually, 60th.
Wow! I hope we're back before the 60th.
We will definitely be back before the 60th. We'll probably be back.
That's a long delay. How long are you away for?
I know. We should be back before the Power of the Doctor takes place. We'll probably do some more videos around sort of Jodie's era and that kind of thing, as long as we have time. And I should imagine next week we will be back with Curse of the Black Spot. I think. I'm just glad that I've given myself another week where I don't have to worry about watching it. Thank God.
Drag it out. That's a good way to.
Yeah, it is.
That's fair on the episode.
My opinion.
Drag it out.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But yes, we will leave it there before the internet gets even worse. And we shall see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.